Welcome to Fort Scott Sports Live here this afternoon. A beautiful day for some baseball, and that's what you're going to receive here on the Fort Scott Sports Live network. The Greyhounds hosting the Barton Community College Cougars in the first round of this Region 6 Plains District playoff matchup, a best-of-3 series. The Greyhounds have a chance in this beautiful 60-degree weather, a little bit of breeze coming in and partly cloudy. They have a chance today to take an early series lead 1-0. And we are about 14 minutes now from first pitch. Both teams just got done doing their team warm-ups. And you got some prayers and some very creative handshakes coming from the Cougars on the left side, getting themselves amped up for this matchup. Now you see the sprints coming across the field. The Greyhounds on the right side, a very different approach, very middle demeanor here, staying locked in. You got some bullpen from the starting pitcher today, Drew Nash, getting his arm loose, and Rowan Christensen, the catcher, getting a feel for his pitcher. But today, both teams coming in here with above 500 records. The Greyhounds coming in 37-19 throughout their regular season this season. They went 19-13 in their conference, and they are coming off, unfortunately, a 4-game losing streak and a series sweep from the Johnson County. And as many teams this season face the wrath of Johnson County, the Greyhounds susceptible like anybody else to end the season, unfortunately. But despite that, they still went 12-7 in the month of April and 0-2 in May, of course, from Johnson County. So still rolling in pretty well into this postseason, and with a record of 28-8 at home, you have to imagine they are feeling pretty confident coming into this one, having the courtesy of hosting a playoff matchup. You don't get that all too often. The Greyhounds have that opportunity this season. But moving on to the Barton Community College Cougars, today's visitors in this lovely afternoon. They were 31-19 in their regular season, and they went 15-17, so just under 500 in their conference. And they are coming off a 3-game losing streak to end their regular season off a 3-1 series affair against the Cloud County Community College. And the interesting thing about this team, their away record is 6 games above 500, 15-9. So a team that does travel well. 15 of their 16 games coming from away, and 9 out of their 19 losses. So you could argue they are a better away team than they are a home team by just a couple of games. So the Greyhounds, no cakewalk here in this first round matchup. But before I speak any more about this lovely day and this baseball game ahead of us, I'm going to move into our first of 3 breaks in this pregame show. First pitch coming here in about 11 minutes now. You are watching Fort Scott Sports Live. Stay tuned for the other side of this break. We will get into starting lineups and other sorts of interesting details. Stay tuned.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, preparing for a career in healthcare as part of Fort Scott Community College's nursing program. Or maybe you belong on stage as part of the Hounds band or theater department. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Today we're going to do an experiment to see just how fast Crawlcan's multi-gig internet is. In your email, you'll find 2 links. When I say go, click on the first link to download the 500 gigabyte test file. Go! Okay, now when I say go, click on the second link in your email to upload the file. Go! I guess it really does eclipse all other internet.
Release the Crawlcan. Monstrous multi-gig speeds for a low, no-nonsense price. From the football field to the bean field, the right equipment can make all the difference. Gear up for harvest, expand your fleet, or grow your business with Tyler Jackman at Big Iron Auctions. Tyler can improve your operation conveniently, efficiently, and effectively. And if you're selling one piece or the whole operation, Big Iron can connect you with over 750,000 registered bidders. Buying or selling, go big. Big Iron Auctions. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115. BigIronAuctions.com.
At the Farm and Ranch Division of the Four-State Agency, we're a team of experts who genuinely care about you and your farming operation. That's why whether it's a visit to your farm or a friendly chat at our office, we're committed to delivering the service you deserve. Our team is fully licensed in both crop insurance and LRP, allowing us to cover your entire farming operation across Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Contact us today to see how we can help.
Welcome back to Fort Scott Sports Live here at Lions Field this early afternoon. The coaches exchanging the lineup cards and talking about the beautiful view. And as you can see back there, as our athletic director, Dave Weimers, was telling me earlier today, there is a bit of moss growing on that left field side of the wall, kind of giving that playoff atmosphere that much more of a feel. It kind of feels like Wrigley was my exclamation on it. Of course, you don't have the brick walls, but that bit of moss just makes it feel just much more like playoff baseball. So plenty in store for us this afternoon. A great 9-inning affair. No doubleheader today, just one game today, one game tomorrow, and I have news that may or may not be pushed up to 11 a.m. Not for certain because of the weather permitting tomorrow afternoon. Expected to be here at 2 p.m., so they might push that up. Not confirmed just yet. They're going to decide later this afternoon, but be on the lookout for that for tomorrow's game, and that game could or will be the decider if the Greyhounds or the Cougars come away with this first game. That could take away the 3-game series right there tomorrow, and of course an extra game Saturday if necessary. But moving on to today's matchup, lineup cards, handshakes, all being exchanged right now. I'll go ahead and move into the starting lineups for the visiting Barton Community College Cougars. They had their leadoff batter and their third baseman, the hot corner, number 4, Kyle Walker. Behind him is the center fielder, batting second, number 25, Rhett Winchester. Batting third is the second baseman, number 17, Ernesto Lopez. And the cleanup hitter, the 4-hole, the right fielder, number 1, Carter Helm. And I'm going to pause my starting lineups for the national anthem, excuse me. Never mind, I cannot. I made a mishaps there. I thought they were doing the national anthem. They were announcing the starting lineups themselves. The umpires had their hands on their chests like they were saluting. So, excuse me. Batting fifth, the second baseman, number 3, Kyle Graves. The 6-hole hitter, the left fielder, number 14. Excuse me, this is Layden Oviat. I'm going to butcher that throughout the day, so I apologize. Number 7, the number 7 hitter, the DH, number 33, Micah McGavran. The 8-hole hitter, the catcher, number 40, Dalton Horgenson. And the last hitter, the 9-hole hitter, the second leadoff, the shortstop, number 6, J.J. Spafford. And the pitcher on the mound for the Cougars this afternoon will be number 10, Antonio Mendez. And now moving on to your Fort Scott Greyhounds, the number 1, the leadoff batter, the shortstop, Cade Gavina. Number 2, the second baseman, Max Erdley. Batting 3, the right fielder, number 14, Alex Downing. The cleanup hole hitter, number 5, the third baseman, is Aiden Cannon. And now we are going to the national anthem. I will set this headset down and resume the lineups after. Excuse me. And play consumes here in Lions Field this afternoon. Beautiful, 63 degrees, partly cloudy, very sunny through those clouds, and just a light breeze coming through here, just enough to not make you sweat. But moving on to the starting lineups, I already listed 1 through 4. Let's go to number 5, the DH, number 55, the light tower figure, Ethan Hampton. Number 6, the center fielder, number 10, Hayden Oliver. Batting 7th, the catcher, number 4, Rowan Christensen. Batting 8th, the first baseman, number 17, Cale Ortner. And last but most definitely not least, the 9-hole hitter, the left fielder, number 7, Parker Fagans. And the pitcher on the bump today, getting his warm-up pitches in right now, number 23, Drew Nash. With that being said, folks, we are moments away from the first pitch, and we'll keep it right here. We don't have any required spots to get in, so I'll give you a little bit more of a rundown of this ball game. As I mentioned, if you guys didn't catch it, this is the first round matchup of the District 6 region this afternoon. It is called the Plains District, if you were curious. And like I mentioned earlier as well, the Greyhounds are coming into today's matchup with the record of 37-19 this regular season. They played 6 more games than the Cougars. The Cougars coming in 31-19, so the Greyhounds 6 more wins on the Cougars and no more losses. They got that advantage, but I also mentioned that both teams are very strong in their respected home and away schedules. The Greyhounds outright better at home, and the Cougars better at away. So an interesting matchup here as the first pitch from Drew Nash is coming in now to the batter, number 4, Kyle Walker, and that'll be a fastball in the zone to start things off for the Greyhounds. A count 0-0 now for Kyle Walker, the third baseman, the lefty, I may add. Second pitch, low and in, caught that corner. Kyle Walker asking the umpire where he had it, and he said yes, that low and in corner. 2 great pitches coming out from Drew Nash. The fastball set up the slider, low and in for that second strike. 0-2 pitch, high and away. Walker never thought about it. Could be a setup pitch. Try to get Walker to chase after that slider moments ago. The 1-2 pitch now, Nash already winding back up. Pitching out of the stretch. Comes in, fouled back. Still a 1-2 count for Kyle Walker. Walker taking his time, now approaching the plate. Drew Nash still working out that stretch despite no runners on. The leadoff batter. The pitch comes in. Oh, and that looked good to everybody in the stadium. You hear the fans back here saying, got him, and Nash frozen on the bump, surprised that wasn't a strikeout call, and I got to say from right here, looked like I caught all the plate. But now the 2-2 pitch from Nash. The exact same spot, and still Nash flabbergasted. Must be getting just outside. Full count now for Walker. Worked himself back into it. Nash out of the stretch. Here it comes. Right down the inside part of the plate. It's going to be fly to shallow center fielder, and Hayden Oliver. No problem with that one. A weak fly ball from Drew Nash. And an early commanding count, but let Walker get back into it, and still got away with 1 out there. Pretty confident from Drew Nash, and I thought he threw about 5 strikes there, honestly. So early on, the Greyhounds rolling. But now the center fielder for the Cougars, Rhett Winchester, the righty, he's going to see his first pitch here, and he's going to take an check swing at it, and he's going to foul it off. The catcher for strike 1. Nash not opting to pitch out of the windup so far this game. The 0-1 count, 1 out. The pitch comes in. The slider on the outside part of the plate is flying to right field. Tracking it. and caught. That's 2 up, 2 down for Drew Nash. Great job by the right fielder, Alex Downing, to stay with that one the whole way through. That one trickled into foul territory, and Downing stayed under it the whole time. 2 up, 2 down for Drew Nash, and really no problem so far for the Greyhounds defensively. Batting now is number 17, the second baseman, Ernesto Lopez. He'll take a strike on the outside part of the plate. An 0-1 count now. Ernesto, by far the tallest batter so far for the Cougars. That one, the off speed on low and out part of the plate. He's going to be pulled foul towards the base coach. Quickly down 0-2 is Lopez. Nash taking a step off the bump. Getting an understanding of the signals. The umpire resuming play. 0-2 pitch. The wind up, the pitch. On the outside part of the plate, the slider, he liked it, just missed. 1-2 count. 2 outs. Base is empty. Ernesto Lopez, the second baseman. Nash winds up, delivers. That's going to be smacked down the right field line again. It's going to stay foul, and that's going to be a foul ball. And Ernesto was able to, despite being jammed, it looked like, power that one to the right field wall, but just foul. And Alex Downing, I can't see from here, but some worrisome looks. He must have ran into the wall of sorts and taken a scary tumble, but able to get back up on his own power. And a couple rounds of applause coming from the dugout. That's good to see. You don't want to see the right fielder or any starter for your team go out early trying to make a play in this first inning, or at all, I might add, but never mind that. The 1-2 count, 2 outs. The pitch, the slider low and away, cut back, right back at the camera. Lopez will stay alive. Fouled 3 pitchers off now, 3 in a row. But Nash quickly back into his stretch windup. He delivers right down the heart of the plate. And that's going to be ripped down the left field line. That's going to go off the wall. He's coming to second. The throw comes down. He's going to slide in safe. That's a 2-out double for the Cougars and Ernesto Lopez. And that wasn't loud off the bat, but it got to that wall in a hurry. One hop off the warning track and smacked right to the left fielder, but Lopez, that blazing speed, able to still get there despite the throwdown being just off target. But now the cleanup hole hitter, the right fielder, number 1, Carter Helm, up to bat. The righty, the runner in second and 2 outs. He swings at the first pitch, a ground ball to Gavina, shortstop. He delivers across the diamond. He'll get him out. The Greyhounds, despite a 2-out double, will get out of the inning unscathed, and a great job by Drew Nash to close that one out. The Greyhounds going into the bottom of the first inning with no runs allowed. You're watching Fort Scott Sports Live. Stay tuned for the bottom of first half coverage coming your way.
Prescription drug pricing points to corporate
Freedom of the press is about your right to know.
and Clark sheer athleticism.
It's about your right to be informed. Today, there are real threats to press freedom
Reaching residential areas.
and your right to know about the world around us. We must protect our right to know, no matter what kind of news is important to you. Before it's too late, understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
How is it so fast?
With Crawcan's multi-gig internet, you can experience monstrous speeds for every device in your home or business at the same time for a low, no-nonsense price.
Welcome back to Fort Scott Sports Live. Now in the bottom half of the first inning, the man who just made that last put out, the shortstop leadoff batter number 1, Cade Gavina, stepping on into the batter's box. The pitcher, Antonio Mendez, ready for him, fires in a pitch right as he steps in. That's a ball just above the logo on the chest of Gavina. Mendez moving quick out of that stretch as well. You've seen nowadays in the world of baseball, pitchers opting to just delete the windup altogether, keep it simple, and just come out of that stretch and get to the plate. And that pace of play much quicker as that 1-1 pitch swung on and fouled off. Gavina now will be facing a 1-2 count. Helmet fell off in the process of that swing. Puts it back on, fixes the gloves, gets his feet settled in that batter's box. The 1-2 pitch already coming in from Mendez. And that's going to be a breaking ball on the outside part of the plate. That's a ball. 2-2 count for Gavina, the leadoff batter. Rocking the baby blue jersey and the baby blue gloves. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. The fastball fouled back at the camera. And you see Mendez working that fastball on the outside part of the plate, trying to tail that slider he threw just a moment ago. And Gavina, you saw late on it because he cut it back this way, but staying alive. Here comes the 2-2 pitch, a slider to the shortstop, fired across the diamond, and got there in time. Gavina is out, one away for Antonio Mendez and the Cougars. And I just mentioned right before the pitch came through, Mendez threw that fastball, the slider, and then he, on that outside part of the plate, opted to throw that slider on that 2-2 count, and Gavina had to fight it off because it was in the zone and right to the shortstop for a ground ball and an out. As the first pitch coming into the second baseman, Max Erdley, number 2, will be a fastball. Then again on the outside part of the plate, that's a strike. 0-1 pitch comes in. The slider tailing off that fastball again. 0-2 for Erdley. Quick. The 0-2 pitch already coming in. The slider again, he tried to double down on it. He liked it, but just off the plate. 1-2's the count. Checking the signs off his wrist. The pitch from Mendez. The slider tripled down on the slider. That one way off the plate. Early never thought about it. 2-2 count, 1 out. Mendez winds up, delivers the fastball high and tight. Cut back by Erdley. And if Erdley would have straightened that one out, that would have been a fly ball to deep left field. He figured the fastball was coming after 3 pitches, but now the 2-2 pitch, the slider, caught all the zone, but Erdley just popped it up. That's going to shallow left field. He's going to call off the shortstop, and he'll bring it in. That was Hayden Oviatt. He retires the second baseman, Max Erdley, and that is 2 up, 2 down for the Cougars. And now number 14, the right fielder, the 3-hole hitter, Alex Downing, up to bat, the lefty, showing a squeeze bunt, and he pulled it back because it was a ball. The first pitch from Mendez. 1-0 the count for Downing. Here comes the second. The fastball fired back in there yet again on that outside part of the plate. 2-0's the count early for Downing. Mendez keeping that pace of play. He delivers the third pitch. Chopper to the first baseman. Mendez has to cover. He got there in time. That's an out. And Downing a rough fall as Mendez came right across the face of him. And he's telling him, hey man, look alive, but it's all right. It's baseball. 3 up, 3 down for both the Greyhounds and the Cougars in this first inning. We are going to go to the top of the second on the other side of this break. You're watching Fort Scott Sports Live. Stay tuned.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, preparing for a career in healthcare as part of Fort Scott Community College's nursing program. Or maybe you belong on stage as part of the Hounds band or theater department. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Today we're going to do an experiment to see just how fast CrawlCan's multi-gig internet is. In your email, you'll find 2 links. When I say go, click on the first link to download the 500 gigabyte test file. Go! Okay, now when I say go, click on the second link in your email to upload the file. Go! I guess it really does eclipse all other internet.
Release the CrawlCan. Monstrous multi-gig speeds for a low, no-nonsense price.
From the football field to the...
Welcome back to Fort Scott Sports Live. Excuse me, this is the top of the second inning. We have the cleanup hitter. No, excuse me, we saw him last time. Carter Helm. He popped out to left field. But this is the 5-hole hitter, the second baseman, number 3, Kyle Graves. And he will take strike 1. The fastball coming in again from Drew Nash. He seems to favor that first pitch fastball and tries to put it in the zone. He likes working ahead in the count. That time, a fastball low below the knees of Carter Helm will even out the count at 1-1. The third pitch and the at-bat from Nash comes in now. The slider low and in. Cut back by Graves. 1-2 is the count for the leadoff batter in this top half of the second inning. The 1-2 pitch. A slider again on the inside part of the plate right at the knees. Cut back into the parking lot. Kyle Graves staying alive. Fouled back again. Graves, 3 in a row, staying alive in this count. The 2-strike affair. Drew Nash punishing that zone, trying to get Graves to strike out. Here comes the 1-2 pitch yet again. Fastball low and out. That's a great pitch if Graves is an inch taller, but just missing that high and out part of the plate. 2-2 is the count. The 2-2 pitch comes in now. The same pitch, that fastball. You try to bring it a little lower, unable to. Full count. Nash doing this to himself a couple times already in this affair. Starting off the batters in a 1-2 count and working them back into a full. Here comes the full count pitch. Cut back again by Kyle Graves. Graves battling in this at bat, making Nash work for this put out. The lefty Graves steps back into the box. That Jeff Bagwell waggle comes in. The fastball again cut back. We got a duel. Graves seeing his 8th or 9th pitch of the at bat here. And Graves works the walk. Drew Nash tried to fire that fastball on the inside part of the plate, tried to jam him, and just got too far inside there. And Graves and the Cougars know it. They got the momentum. You saw the dugout kind of erupt there, trying to get in the head of Nash and build their own sort of spark and momentum here in this top of the second and break the ice. As Graves will take his lead from first. The batter now, Hayden Oviatt, the left fielder. That one is popped up into foul territory. The catcher tracking it. He sees it. He gloves it. That is one down for Drew Nash and the Greyhounds. A great way to get back at that full count walk a count where you were in control right away and you let the batter get back in it and walk. You get a first pitch pop out the next play into foul territory. The first pitch of this at-bat to Micah McGavran, the DH, number 33, will be a strike and a fastball low and away. Nash still working out of the stretch now with that runner on. That is a necessity. The slider on the outside part of the plate, cut back by McGavran. That name I just wrote down so weird, hard to read off the paper. Micah McGavran, an 0-2 count now. The righty, tall, I may add. The 0-2 pitch, the step off the bump and try to check the runner at first. And Kyle Graves hasn't shown any signs of stealing yet, but with the runner, with a 1 out and no balls here, you have to expect he's going to throw a strikeout pitch. So the runner may go. The stretch, he doesn't. The slider outside part of the plate, just outside. Micah McGavran thought about it, but held that back behind that bat behind the that part of the plate, so he did not go. But here comes that 1-2 pitch. Run on first. Goes. The slider outside, fired by Christensen. It got there in time, but he is safe. The pop time from Rowan Christensen. He was up on a dime, and he got that ball there in a jiffy. But the runner, Graves, able to slide under the tag. And there's a runner in scoring position now for the Cougars. And a powerful figure in the DH, Micah McGavran, at the plate. All of a sudden, the Greyhounds are in trouble. A 2-2 pitch comes in and flew it past him. That's a strikeout. Drew Nash's first of the day. Fired the fastball past him. And that will bring up the catcher, the 8-hole hitter, number 40, Dalton Horgensen. The first pitch out of the stretch, Nash fires the fastball right to the shortstop, Gavina. He gloves it. And just like that, Nash yet again escaping that jam with the runner on second base. No worries for Nash, and the Greyhounds stay unscathed through 2. We are going to move on to the bottom of the second inning on the other half of this break. You're watching Fort Scott Sports Live. Stay tuned.
From the football field to the bean field, the right equipment can make all the difference. Gear up for harvest, expand your fleet, or grow your business with Tyler Jackman at Big Iron Auctions. Tyler can improve your operation conveniently, efficiently, and effectively. And if you're selling one piece or the whole operation, Big Iron can connect you with over 750,000 registered bidders. Buying or selling, go big. Big Iron Auctions. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115. BigIronAuctions.com.
At the Farm and Ranch Division of the Four-State Agency, we're a team of experts who genuinely care about you and your farming operation. That's why whether it's a visit to your farm or a friendly chat at our office, we're committed to delivering the service you deserve. Our team is fully licensed in both crop insurance and LRP, allowing us to cover your entire farming operation across Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Contact us today to see how we can help.
Welcome back to Fort Scott Sports Live. Moving on to the bottom of the second inning now, the leadoff batter and the cleanup hitter, number 5, the third baseman, Zayden Cannon, will take a breaking ball for a strike out of Antonio Mendez. And you've noticed, Mendez, first pitch for these leadoff batters, he has thrown it as soon as they've stepped into the box. And he will follow up that slider with a fastball on the inner part of the plate, and that'll be ripped down the third base line, but just foul. Zayden Cannon already finding himself in an 0-2 count when it feels like he just got up there about 5 seconds ago. Mendez again moving quick. Here comes the pitch. yet again ripped down the third base line, but foul. And Mendez tried to fire that slider back in there after the fastball, and Cannon able to battle it off because that slider caught all the plate. But Cannon not really having any time to settle in that batter's box. As here comes the 0-2 pitch again. The fastball high at the face. Cannon finally taking a chance to step out the box, get a breather. Mendez checking the wristband for the signal. Here comes the pitch, the 1-2. Ripped down the third base line, fielded by the third baseman, bobbled, but still got there in time. Cannon's retired. And if that ball was hit just a tad bit softer, he would have got there, but Cannon caught all that one. Just got on top of it, and the third baseman wasn't able to field it cleanly, but still was able to fire it across the diamond in time. A great play by the leadoff batter, Kyle Walker. As now we have the DH and the 5-hole hitter, number 55, Ethan Hampton, will take a first pitch ball from the quick-moving Antonio Mendez. The 1-0 pitch. The breaker inside. Hampton backing out of the zone, thinking it was the fastball off the chin, but didn't catch the plate. 2-0 early on for the skyscraper. 2-0 pitch cut back right over the awning. I thought it was coming back to the table here, right behind the catcher, but I'm too close for that to happen. Now the 2-1 count for Ethan Hampton. He's in control. Mendez fires. The slider again on the outside part of the plate. Hampton swings through it. Now, if that were a fastball, I have to believe Hampton would have drove that right over the moss growing in left field. Now the 2-2 pitch, the slider again, doubled down on it, too far outside. Full count for Hampton. And I'm sure Mendez knows, not a batter you want to give anything all over the plate. But the 3-2 pitch is barreled down the left field line. The slider caught all the zone. That one's ripped foul. Oh, Hampton had a chance to give the Greyhounds a lead early on there. I was just trying to fit in the fact that Hampton has that light tower power in the plate. And if you give him anything over the zone, especially a breaking ball, he'll give it a drive, and that he did, but the quick pitch of Mendez obviously made that sound scrambled. But now moving quick again, the full count pitch, the fastball fired inside. That's a walk. Ethan Hampton flipping the back to the dugout. He'll take his trot down the first base line. That's a leadoff batter for the Greyhounds. And now a chance for Hayden Oliver to spark a little bit of life into this offense and try to get a rally going here in the bottom of the second. Antonio Mendez again moving quick out of that stretch. Hampton taking a short lead. The pitch, there she's showing bunt. He pulls it back, a slider in the dirt. 1-0 count. Hayden Oliver trying to move over Hampton in the scoring position so the Greyhounds can get a 2-out knock here and try to take one away from Mendez. And Oliver again showing that bunt, but the fastball got there before he can even put the bunt down. And you notice Ethan Hampton not stealing. He wants to make sure the ball's in play before he goes. He's got a very short lead, might I add. The 1-1 pitch from Mendez. Here it comes. Low and in slider on the back foot. Oliver, that time not even showing the bunt. But now the 2-1 count. Oliver to lefty back in the box. The short lead from Hampton. Mendez checks the runner, pitches. The high fastball out of the zone. Hitters count here for Oliver and a runner on first. Things could get dicey here for Antonio Mendez and the Cougars if he doesn't treat this pitch with the utmost importance. The 3-1 pitch comes in, a fastball right down the middle. Oliver just missed it, pulled it foul. The full count, and Mendez has now worked himself back into it. The chance to punch out Oliver. Hampton hasn't even left that little curvature of the first base circle with his leadoff yet. Here comes the full count pitch. Low and in, ripped to the right fielder, but caught. Hayden Oliver able to get his hands through it, but not enough to elevate it over to the wall. That's a great barrel Swing from Hayden Oliver, but right to the right fielder. That is 2 down for the Greyhounds, a runner on first, and now the catcher, Rowan Christensen. And it's been a while since I've covered this Greyhounds team, but the last time I did, it was just a series after Christensen had like back-to-back home run games, I believe, early on in this season. So he has that power to bring in a run here with 2 outs, and hopefully 2 with just 1 swing, as he's ahead in the count now, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch off the elbow of Christensen, and he eats it. Hampton will trot his way to second. Christensen on the way to first, quickly dismissing of that elbow guard. And all of a sudden, Mendez has a runner in scoring position he has to worry about with 2 outs, but the 9-hole hitter, Parker Fagans, and not your ordinary 9-hole hitter, Fagans, a very optimal hitter to have in this situation. The left fielder, he's got that outfield power and he's got that outfield frame. If he gets a hold of this one, it could be dangerous for the Cougars with 2 outs here in the second inning. Mendez taking his time, checking the signs on his wrist. He pitches. The slider low and out. Didn't catch the zone. You hear some O's from the opposite side of the ballpark, that Cougar fan section. But from here, it looked like it was just off the plate. 1-0's the count for the left fielder, Fagans. Or I am so sorry, I've been misreading my roster. That's a pop fly out into the outfield territory from Cale Ortner. He was actually at bat, not Fagans. So the first baseman will retire the side for the Greyhounds. A disappointing at bat, he knows it. But that's your second inning. Still zeros on the scoreboard. After 2, we are going to move into this third inning break. You're watching Fort Scott Sports Live. Stay tuned for third inning action on the other side of this break.
Prescription drug pricing points to corporate
Freedom of the press is about your right to know. It's about your right to be informed. Today, there are real threats to press freedom and your right to know about the world around us. We must protect our right to know, no matter what kind of news is important to you. Before it's too late, understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
How is it so fast?
With Crawcan's multi-gig internet, you can experience monstrous speeds for every device in your home or business at the same time for a low, no-nonsense price.
Welcome back to Fort Scott Sports Live here on the top of the third inning. Drew Nash regaining possession of the bump. Through 2 innings, he's allowed 1 hit. He's collected 1 strikeout, and he's passed away 1 walk. So through 2 innings, more than serviceable. He's pitching to the 9-hole hitter, number 6, the shortstop, J.J. Spafford. And he'll take ball 1, the slider just below the zone. The 1-0 pitch, Nash, like Mendez, working out of that stretch. The 1-0 pitch, the fastball, blown past Spafford. That'll even out the count at 1s. And you've seen both these pitchers very identical. Their pace of play, their repertoire, and their success so far, as that fastball ripped into the Cougars dugout. That is a 1-2 count in favor of Nash. But like I was saying, out of the stretch, both these pitchers work. They had very quick paces. They get to the batter pretty rapidly, and they both use that fastball slider combination as that slider is doinked to the first baseman, tossed to Nash, and he doesn't win the foot race. Spafford gets down the first base line off a little doinker to the first baseman. He had to get it to Nash in time, and Nash, the umpire says he didn't get the foot on the bag. So he might have won the race, but just missed the bag with that little foot stab, trying to beat the runner. So Spafford able to create a infield single and a leadoff knock of sorts for the Cougars in the top of this third inning. But now the manager walking out, trying to discuss the call. He obviously doesn't like it because he wasn't in favor. And after that conversation, walks back to the dugout with a head shake and a caress of the beard. But now stepping into the box for the second time through the order, the leadoff batter, the third baseman, number 4, Kyle Walker. With a runner on first base and 0 outs, the lefty has the advantage on Nash, the righty. I don't even know what pitch that was more of a vertical slider, wasn't a changeup, but you saw Walker showing that bunt, trying to move over Spafford to that second base and put a runner in scoring position, but unsuccessful. The slider dropped under the barrel. 0-1's the count. A pickoff attempt at first base, unsuccessful. But now with that runner on and 0 outs, you know the Cougars are going to try to move him over and put some pressure on the pitcher, and Nash knows it. Spafford, the 9-hole hitter, he gets checked again. He's got a sliding mid on that right hand, and normally in the world of baseball, you're last guy in the lineup at the 9th spot. He's a pretty quick one. He's on almost your second leadoff, and they're treating Spafford such is. The 0-1 pitch comes in, a fastball cut back off the mask of the catcher. 0-2 early on for Kyle Walker, and Nash a chance to work himself back into this inning and retire a batter. No balls, 2 strikes, and this is when you got to look out for a steal. No outs yet, so less likely, but still that 0-2 count. Normally you see an off speed and a runner going. He doesn't this time round. That pitch just off the outside part of the plate. Walker takes it for a ball. 1-2's the count. Nash checking the signals on his belt line, checking the runner over his shoulder and looking at the batter now. Checks the runner. No tag from Ortner as Spafford will get back in time. 1-2, still the count. Walker, still the batter. The lefty facing the righty of Nash. It comes in, the slider on the inside part of the plate again. Cut back towards the parking lot. And you've seen that time and time again. Kyle Walker, kind of a 2-pitch guy, and that fastball sets out that slider, and he seems in this, or as most pitchers do, these strikeout counts favor that slider, and he tries to go low and in and try to buckle him. And that time unsuccessful. Nash delivers the 1-2 pitch, cut back. It was a fastball. Staying alive here, and you have to imagine Drew getting rather annoyed, as you saw an inning ago. The number 3, the leadoff last inning, Kyle Graves, was down 1-2 in a count, and he worked his way back into a walk. So Nash got to stay composed here. Here comes the pitch. The slider caught all the zone, ripped down the right field line, and a diving attempt, but unsuccessful. The center fielder will field it. He'll throw down a second, and he's safe. What a crazy series of events. Oh, excuse me, he's out. What a throw from the center fielder, Hayden Oliver. Going to cover the fly ball of Alex Downing, just unsuccessful in that diving attempt. Oliver got it right as it hopped back up, fired at the second base. Gavina able to glove it and smack the tag down on the batter, Kyle Walker. So a runner on third base now as Spafford advanced 2 bases. And just one out now, Drew Nash in a situation where he needs to strike out the batter. Because anything in play besides a shallow pop-up will most likely result in the first run of the game and in favor of the Cougars. So not at all what the Greyhounds need, as Nash will take the first pitch. He winds, he throws, ripped to the left center field gap. Oliver tracking it, he gloves it, but that's going to be a sacrifice RBI, as he has no chance to get it in time, as he had to stretch out with all of his might and stride to keep that one from being a base clearing double. And that's the first run of the game in favor of the Cougars. Spafford touches home plate, and just like that, Nash has allowed his first run in this outing. Up now is number 17, Ernesto Lopez. As the last batter, the center fielder, Rhett Winchester, got a sacrifice RBI. And that does clear the bases for Nash. So no more pressure from base runners, as now the 1-0 pitch, 2 outs, a slider barreled, but not enough. That wind pushing it back in. Hayden Oliver will put him out. 3 put outs this inning from Hayden Oliver. What a defensive performance. But despite that, the Cougars will take the first run of this game in the top of the 3rd inning. 1-0 is your score. Through 2.5, you're watching Fort Scott Sports Live. Stay tuned for the bottom of this 3rd inning.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, preparing for a career in healthcare as part of Fort Scott Community College's nursing program. Or maybe you belong on stage as part of the Hounds band or theater department. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Today we're going to do an experiment to see just how fast CrawlCan's multi-gig internet is. In your email, you'll find 2 links. When I say go, click on the first link to download the 500 gigabyte test file. Go! Okay, now when I say go, click on the second link in your email to upload the file. Go! I guess it really does eclipse all other internet.
Release the CrawlCan. Monstrous multi-gig speeds for a low, no-nonsense price.
Welcome back. The batter now, the Parker Fagans. I was talking so much about last inning when he wasn't batting. He flies out the first pitch to the right fielder. Almost received a tackle from the center fielder, but he was able to high step him. The first out of this bottom of the 3rd inning comes off of 1 pitch. Parker Fagans unable to lead things off for the Greyhounds. Now, excuse the wind, I'm so sorry. Cade Gavina, his 2nd time through, the leadoff batter and the shortstop. Rounded out the shortstop his first time round. And swinging at the first pitch as well as a slider again, cut back in the outfield territory. Thankfully, he ran out of space. Gambino will stay alive and see another pitch. And through 1 trip through the lineup, Antonio Mendez has allowed no hits. He hasn't collected a strikeout yet, but he's given out 2 walks. But none of that matters because he hasn't given up a run either. The second pitch, the exact same outcome for Gavina. The slider low and out and fouled away into outside of foul territory, thankfully. So he stays alive again, the 0-2 count. Mendez checks the wristband. He fires the fastball just outside. He liked it. Gavina now collecting a ball in this count, but still down. The 1-2 pitch comes in. The slider trying to tail off that fastball, unsuccessful. Slammed it into the dirt. 2-2 is the count. Gavina working his way back into it. The 2-2 pitch. The fastball doinks Gavina, and he pips it. The wind again ruining the call. I'm so sorry, but Gavina threw that bat back to the dugout. Nobody even having to come out and receive it. And he is taking his sweet time to that first base bag. Not even a trot, just a walk. And the leadoff batter, that leadoff speed, ready to wreak havoc and getting ahead of Antonio Mendez. But for Mendez's benefit, he does work out of that stretch, and he's used to it, and he gets to that mound quick. So that should allow the catcher, number 40, Dalton Jorgensen, to get a throw down in time if he does run. But the 1-0, the first pitch will result in a strike to the batter now, Max Erdley. So he's down 0-1. The 0-1 pitch, a slider on the outside part of the plate, moves it to 1-1. The 1-1 pitch, 1 out, runner on first. Gavina gets checked, but taking a short lead, so he'll get back standing. And yet again, Mendez, like Nash, using that slider to work off the fastball. And that time the fastball does come in at the hands. That's cut back into the parking lot. Erdley down on the count like Gavina once was. But Gavina ended up on base, so hopefully Erdley can do the same. 1-2 count, 1 out. Here comes the pitch, the slider, whip between the third baseman and the shortstop. That's a single, and that'll move the runners over one bag. A runner in scoring position, the double play is in effect at all bases besides home, and a chance for the 3-hole hitter, the right fielder, Alex Downing, to do some serious damage and get a run back and hopefully build some insurance for Drew Nash. Alex Downing last inning, or the top half of this inning, excuse me, had a diving attempt at the pop fly of one of the Cougar batters and just came short, so a little bit of revenge in his mind for his own sake. Here comes the 1-0 pitch, a fastball fired in there by Mendez and Downing very late, but able to cut it for a foul ball at the very least. Early on first, Gavina on second. Mendez moving quickly, 1-1 pitch. The breaking ball just below the zone. That will be a 2-1 count in favor of Alex Downing, and the lefty facing the righty of Mendez has a chance to break open the scoreboard for the Greyhounds right here. Here comes the pitch, a fastball above the zone. The hitter's count coming up for Alex Downing with just 1 out. The last thing you want here is a double play, and you have to imagine he's going to see fastball. You don't want to load the bases here with a walk. Here it comes. It is a fastball, fouled right to the third base coach. He had to move his feet quickly. Full count now for Downing. Excuse me, the allergies very prominent right now. The full count pitch coming in. The fastball again. Mendez understanding that Downing is incredibly late, I might add, to this fastball, but able to foul it off. The full count pitch still there. Runner at first and second. Here comes the full count pitch again. A slider on the inside part of the plate, fouled off Alex Downing. Staying alive. And like I was just saying, a high pollen count right now for a guy as susceptible as me to allergies. You're going to notice the congestion, so I excuse myself in advance, and I apologize. But moving on, the full count pitch again. Mendez fires. The slider again, barrel to the second baseman. 4, 6, 3. The Cougars get out of it. and they are fired up. Mendez, happy to say the least, and Ethan Hampton walking up to get the bat of Downing, understanding he had a chance to open up the floodgates himself, and he's going to have to wait till next inning. You're watching Fort Scott Sports Live. Stay tuned for fourth inning coverage on the other side of this break.
From the football field to the bean field, the right equipment can make all the difference. Gear up for harvest, expand your fleet, or grow your business with Tyler Jackman at Big Iron Auctions. Tyler can improve your operation conveniently, efficiently, and effectively. And if you're selling one piece or the whole operation, Big Iron can connect you with over 750,000 registered bidders. Buying or selling, go big. Big Iron Auctions. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115. BigIronAuctions.com.
At the Farm and Ranch Division of the Four-State Agency, we're a team of experts who genuinely care about you and your farming operation. That's why whether it's a visit to your farm or a friendly chat at our office, we're committed to delivering the service you deserve. Our team is fully licensed in both crop insurance and LRP, allowing us to cover your entire farming operation across Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Contact us today to see how we can help.
Welcome back to Fort Scott Sports Live here in the top of this fourth inning, listening to some Rascal Flats here. Life is a Highway, an all-time classic, and nothing like the atmosphere of baseball music. Is a huge part of it. As you see walk-up songs between the innings, there's plenty of classics played, and it just makes the atmosphere and the feeling of baseball that much better. But back to the action, the leadoff batter, number 1, the cleanup hitter, the right fielder, Carter Helm, will cut back the first pitch for a strike. 0-1's the count. Here comes the pitch. The fastball fired in there just inside, so the count will even out at 1-1. The 1-1 pitch fired in there for a strike again. 1-2's the count, and Drew Nash again finding himself ahead in the count. It's whether or not he can stay there and get the batter out. Here it comes, the slider. He checks it. They check to the first base line, and he'll say safe, and I believe him. I felt like he held back. The 2-2 pitch, a slider outside part of the plate, grounded out to Zayden Cannon. That retires the first batter. No problem there for the third base, first base connection. And Drew Nash able to retire the first batter. Wasn't able to do so last inning as J.J. Spafford got in on an infield single and made a trip around the bases and scored the first round of this game, but short-term memory for Drew Nash as he's working quickly, as both pitchers have in this game so far. And the first pitch of this at-bat to number 3, Kyle Graves, is a fouled strike. 0-1's the count. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Excuse me. Well, I don't know why I put so much emphasis on that. 1-1 is the count. That was a fastball above the zone. As it's Kyle Graves. We'll see a slider now, and that is below the zone, so Drew Nash this time behind in the count. The 2-1 pitch, fastball, slider has been the sequence. You see fastball again on the outside part of the plate, a hitter's count now for Kyle Graves. Base is empty, 1 out, hitter's count. Graves, the lefty, facing the righty of Nash. He winds up, he delivers the fastball right down the middle and a hack from Kyle Graves, but he swings nothing and finds air. Drew Nash able to bring it back into the count, full count. The payoff pitch. Fastball right in the inside part of the plate, caught the corner, and that's a backwards K. The ball will get tossed around. He'll take his strut across the field. And 2 up, 2 down for Nash on the top of this 4th inning. This Drew Nash's 2nd strikeout of the game, and the 2nd strikeout for both pitchers, and he'll follow it up with chin music right to the left fielder Hayden Aviat. He'll take his trip down the line. And you see a little reunion, it seems to be, between Cale Ortner and Hayden Aviat, as they will give each other a nice little dab up and hug. But now Drew Nash with runner on first and 2 outs. The runner goes, fired down by Christensen, but a great jump by Aviat will give him no chance to be thrown out. As you hear the wind coming in, I have to use my hand to cover. Excuse that. But now a runner in scoring position by the way of walk and steal puts some 2-out pressure on Drew Nash as he's down in the count 1-0 to the batter. Grounded to the third baseman, Zayden Cannon. He can't field it cleanly. It gets past him. The runner will score from second base with ease. And just like that, a 2-out run is created for the Cougars. And the Cougars is playing better baseball than the Greyhounds right now. Not by much, but doing just enough. And that's why they found themselves with a 2-0 lead in this 4th inning. Back-to-back innings with the run scored. And that was Micah McGavran with the RBI single. One's the count now for Dalton Horgenson as Nash will start ahead again. The second pitch jams Horgenson, but he'll cut it back. He's down 0-2 quick as Nash trying to get back into the dugout after he doesn't feel he deserves that last run given up, but it does happen. 0-2 pitch, a slider on the outside part of the plate, and Nash wished he could have gotten that one back. Just missed the corner. A great miss for an 0-2 pitch, and now Horgenson will step back in there. The 1-2 pitch comes in, it's a fastball. He'll fire it down the right field line, and Downing will make an athletic play, falling down to his knees and cleaning it up. Or excuse me, I just can't even see down there. Based off the reaction, I imagine he got the out, but looks like it was a foul ball and dropped. Very confusing, excuse me. As Dalton will make his trip back to the batter's box. 1-2 is the count. 2 outs, runner on first base. And the runner on first is Micah McGavran. Yes. Coming off an RBI single as Horgenson will ground it out to Gavina. Yes, the throw gets there. And Drew Nash, unfortunately, allowing another run, 2-out run, may I add. And the Greyhounds now down 2-0 going into the bottom of this 4th inning and this first game of the first round of District 6 playoffs. You're watching Fort Scott Sports Live. Stay tuned for the bottom of 4th inning action.
Prescription drug pricing points to corporate
Freedom of the press is about your right to know.
and Clark sheer athleticism.
It's about your right to be informed. Today, there are real threats to press freedom
reaching residential areas.
and your right to know about the world around us. We must protect our right to know, no matter what kind of news is important to you. Before it's too late, understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
is it so fast?
With Crawcan's multi-gig internet, you can experience monstrous speeds for every device in your home or business at the same time for a low, no-nonsense price.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future is...
Welcome back to Fort Scott Sports Live. Now in the bottom of this fourth inning, the leadoff batter, the cleanup hitter, the third baseman, number 5, Zayden Cannon, will find that first pitch to be a strike. He swung through the fastball, trying to attack Antonio Mendez early. We saw that approach out of the Greyhounds early last inning, and it resulted in 2 quick outs. This time round, a swing and a miss, thankfully. But the second pitch, a slider into the dirt, that will even out the count. The 1-1 pitch is a nasty slider on the outside part of the plate, as Cannon will find himself in a 1-2 count with bases empty and no outs. Barreled down the left field line, but pulled way foul. Cannon really ahead of that slider. And we've seen that time and time again for these Greyhound batters, as Mendez has used that slider as that true off-speed pitch, and hitters just have not timed it up yet. But the 1-2 pitch, the fastball, and Cannon somehow pulls that one even more foul. He knew it was coming. Collects himself now. The 1-2 pitch already coming in from Mendez. The high fastball off the shoulder. Cannon able to tuck that chin in. Thank goodness. That's a leadoff walk for the Greyhounds, and Mendez up in the count, 0-2, and then gives up a free pass. The Greyhounds must capitalize. And the batter now, the DH, number 55, Ethan Hampton, walking up to the Red Hot Chili Peppers. That first pitch, a fastball ripped into the Cougars dugout. And as I said last time, Hampton got all the power in the world, and we almost saw one leave his last at-bat, but the wind pushed it foul. Cannon taking a very short lead at first. The 0-1 pitch, a slider right down the middle. Hampton knows it. He thought it was a fastball in. You saw him lead out right away. But once he saw it break down into the zone, he bent those knees out of pure frustration. 0-2 pitch comes in, bounces off the turf. Horkinson checking Cannon at first, and no reason for him to do anything stupid, so he doesn't. Takes that short lead back at first. Hampton now facing the 1-2 count. Here comes the pitch. Off the plate again. Working his way back into a 2-2 count. Getting the signs from coach at third base. No outs, runner on first. Down 2 runs. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Fastball ripped. Shallow left field. He was able to fight that one off. Cannon will move to second, Hampton to first, and all of a sudden the Greyhounds are working with something. Antonio Mendez finding himself in some serious trouble early on in this bottom of the fourth inning, because the Greyhounds will get 2 runners and no outs through the first 2 batters. And that brings up the center fielder, number 10, the lefty, Hayden Oliver. He's got that arm side advantage. That slider will be breaking in to the barrel instead of away. He's going to show bunt. He's going to lay it down. That should move the runners over. It does. And he's safe off the throw to first. And all the momentum in the world in the favor of the Greyhounds right now. Hayden Oliver, that center fielder for a reason. That speed down the first base line. And that is 3 straight runners on for the Greyhounds. Bases juiced for the catcher, Rowan Christensen, as we see a mound visit now for the Cougars. In this inning, Mendez has allowed a walk by way of hit by pitch and a 2-strike count, may I add, and then back-to-back singles. So obviously not the inning the Cougars were looking for after going hard at work to create 2 very scrappy runs in the 2 previous innings. The Greyhounds now looking to burst through the floodgates here, as they have not yet touched the scoreboard. Rowan Christensen, as I mentioned last time he was up, he's got that power. He's had streaks of home runs early on in this season. Now it'd be as great as time as ever to see one. A grand slam would really get momentum going, as that slider is off the plate for ball 1. Christensen ahead in the count, and that hits him. That walks in a run. And things are falling apart for Mendez. That is his 5th walk this inning, in his 5th walk this outing, his 2nd hit by pitch this inning. And that is a hit by pitch RBI by Christensen. Now that brings up the very tall, powerful first baseman, Cale Ortner, and he doinks one to the first baseman, but that'll score a run, and that ties it up. Runners move over. Cale Ortner, basically a sacrifice bunt, and that's exactly what the Greyhounds needed. Still only 1 out because of that. That's the first out Mendez has been able to create, but it was a sacrifice for the Greyhounds. And the runners keep moving over, and pressure still on. The 9-hole hitter, Parker Fagans, will cut one back off his own foot, actually. And I excuse myself. The scoreboard is obviously wrong. That is easily my fault, as I am in charge of that. So let's make sure that's fixed. It is the 4th inning. The 0-1 pitch, fly to right field. Shallow, if I may add. The runner is going to tag, still fired in. No, he will come back off. It goes over the pitcher and the catcher's head. And that is an error. And the Greyhounds take full opportunity of it, and they will take the lead in the bottom of the 4th inning. A throwing error from the right fielder, the catcher, the pitcher, both not able to back it up. And just like that, the Greyhounds steal the lead in this bottom of the 4th inning. Antonio Mendez frustrated, as the Greyhounds still have a runner on 3rd and 2 outs. Fagans will get an RBI for that, as the leadoff batter, Gavina, will tap it back to Mendez at the mound, and that will end things for the Greyhounds. And that perfect 4th inning for them. They scored 3 straight runs, and they got the lead going into the 5th inning. You're watching Fort Scott Sports Live. Stay tuned for 5th inning action.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, preparing for a career in healthcare as part of Fort Scott Community College's nursing program. Or maybe you belong on stage as part of the Hounds band or theater department. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Today we're going to do an experiment to see just how fast Crawl Can's multi-gig internet is. In your email, you'll find 2 links. When I say go, click on the first link to download the 500 gigabyte test file. Go! Okay, now when I say go, click on the second link in your email to upload the file. Go! I guess it really does eclipse all other internet.
Release the Crawl Can. Monstrous multi-gig speeds for a low, no-nonsense price.
From the football field to the bean field, the right equipment can make all the difference. Gear up for harvest, expand your fleet, or grow your business with Tyler Jackman at Big Iron Auctions. Tyler can improve your operation conveniently, efficiently, and effectively. And if you're selling one piece or the whole operation, Big Iron can connect you with over 750,000 registered bidders. Buying or selling, go big. Big Iron Auctions. Call
Welcome back to Fort Scott Sports Live here at the top of the 5th inning. Drew Nash delivers the first pitch to J.J. Spafford. That's a slider low and away from the plate. Spafford last time up treated a infield single where Drew Nash wasn't able to get his foot on the bag on a foot race down that first base line, and he ended up being the first run of today's game. But since then, for Drew Nash, the offense has been able to create him a lead. So he's still back into that winning column. And right there, the 2-0 pitch fouled off down the third base line for his first strike in this at-bat. And so far through 4 innings, Drew Nash has allowed 4 hits. He's collected 2 strikeouts, and he's passed away 2 walks, and he's given up 2 runs. And now the 2-2 pitch, 0 outs in the top of the 5th. The leadoff batter will strike out the slider low and away. His strikeout pitch time and time again. He collects his 3rd. Excuse me. The batter now, the true leadoff, Kyle Walker. First pitch will pop it up, and that'll be out of play. Drew Nash starting himself ahead in this count. The lefty as a leadoff is Kyle Walker. Last time up, he had a single that moved Spafford to third base, and he tried to steal second, but Hayden Oliver fired one in from that right field to get him out, and that saved an extra run maybe for the Greyhounds, so kudos to Hayden Oliver. But now Walker finds himself in a 1-1 count with 1 out and no runners on to score, as the second pitch is a breaking ball that tried to catch the back half of the plate but unsuccessful. This is the 3rd time through the order for the Cougars, as that 2-1 pitch from this angle was a fastball. It looked like it was fired in on the outside part of the plate, and actually it was. I just didn't get an enthusiastic call from the umpire. A 2-2 count. The put away pitch for Nash, ripped to the first baseman, Cale Wartner. No trouble there. 2 up, 2 down for Nash, and he's confidently moving through the top half of this 5th inning after that newly built lead. Rhett Winchester, the center fielder, number 25, the small righty, up to bat now. Yet again, base is empty. That one's fought off. Just in foul territory. Ortner will get under it, and he'll glove it. 3 up, 3 down for Drew Nash. Just what the Greyhounds needed after that brand new lead they have created for themselves. Moving on to the bottom half of this 5th inning, you're watching Fort Scott Sports Live. Stay tuned.
From the football field to the bean field, the right equipment can make all the difference. Gear up for harvest, expand your fleet, or grow your business with Tyler Jackman at Big Iron Auctions. Tyler can improve your operation conveniently, efficiently, and effectively. And if you're selling one piece or the whole operation, Big Iron can connect you with over 750,000 registered bidders. Buying or selling, go big. Big Iron Auctions. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115. BigIronAuctions.com.
At the Farm and Ranch Division of the 4-State Agency, we're a team of experts who genuinely care about you and your farming operation. That's why whether it's a visit to your farm or a friendly chat at our office, we're committed to delivering the service you deserve. Our team is fully licensed in both crop insurance and LRP, allowing us to cover your entire farming operation across Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Contact us today to see how we can help.
Welcome back to Fort Scott Sports Live here in the bottom of this 5th inning. Leading off for your Greyhounds, number 2, the second baseman, Max Erdley, trying to resume the offensive domination that ensued last time the Greyhounds were up to bat in that 4th inning. And that one's ripped to the left center field gap, but a great job by the center fielder to track that one down. He had no doubt about that ball going right into his glove. That was the number 25, Rhett Winchester, out there, and he took a break on that ball as soon as it let the barrel of the bat from Max Erdley and stolen out there for the struggling Antonio Mendez, I may add. That brings up the right fielder, number 14, Alex Downing, and he finds himself in a 1-1 count as Mendez trying to bounce back from a rough 3rd inning that saw a handful of walks, or 2 of them to be exact, and they both came by the way of hit by pitch. He finds himself in a 2-1 count now, and he spiked a couple in the dirt. That one a slider right down the middle, but ripped on the ground and then fielded cleanly by the second baseman. That's 2 up, 2 down for Mendez. And a great job by Ernesto Lopez at second base to catch that short hopper coming in on a quick line off that turf. And that's going to keep the bases empty for the Cougars. And this gives a chance for the cleanup hitter, Zayden Cannon, to get a solo shot here, as that one is fought away off the facility of the Greyhounds on the right side, right behind their dugout. Zayden Cannon started the rally last time up. That's a fly ball down the deep left field. That gets over the wall. There's that solo shot. I manifested. Zayden Cannon caught all of that one. A slider right down the heart of the plate. He fished it out and he gave it a joyride. That makes the lead 4-2. The Greyhounds are in business. Mendez now allowed 4 runs through 4 innings and 2/3 of play. That brings up Ethan Hampton. He'll line up on the first pitch to the second baseman, Lopez, and Mendez for a second there thought he was going to go 3 up, 3 down, and then Zayden Cannon walked up to the plate. So the Greyhounds extend their lead 4-2, moving into the 6th inning of 9. You're watching Fort Scott Sports Live. Stay tuned.
Prescription drug pricing points to corporate mountain.
Freedom of the press is about your right to know.
And Clark sheer athleticism.
It's about your right to be informed. Today, there are real threats to press freedom.
Reaching residential areas?
And your right to know about the world around us. We must protect our right to know, no matter what kind of news is important to you. Before it's too late, understand the threats. Protectpressfreedom.org.
How is it so fast?
With Crawcan's multi-gig internet, you can experience monstrous speeds for every device in your home or business at the same time for a low, no-nonsense price.
Welcome back to Fort Scott Sports Live here on the top of the 6th inning. Drew Nash trying to sustain that quality start. He's already achieved it through 5 innings and only allowed 2 runs. He's had 3 strikeouts, 4 hits. He's passed out 2 walks in those 5 innings, and he's going on for a 6th here, facing the 3rd hole hitter, the second baseman, Ernesto Lopez. Oddly tall for that second base position, as Nash will fire in that slider low and away at the knees for strike 1 to start off this 2nd inning, or excuse me, this 6th inning. Update the scoreboard. That is an 0-2 count early for Lopez. Nash trying to get those hot bats back up the bat. A lot of bats there. The 0-2 pitch comes in at the knees, just below it. Nash trying to get the backwards K, unsuccessful that time round. The 1-2 pitch to Lopez. He fires, fought away, and that's going to go off the wall. And he's going to be standing up for a double. And that fastball, he just sat back on it, got the barrel to the ball, fired it over to second baseman of Max Early, and that swore hop to the wall, and that's a great piece of 2-strike hitting for Ernesto Lopez. And just like that, Drew Nash again finds himself ahead in the count, but that time around he will allow a 2-strike double, and that's not a great way to lead things off if you're Drew Nash. Quite the contrary for the Cougars, though. A leadoff runner at second, no outs, and you have your cleanup hitter, Carter Helm, up to bat. The 0-1 pitch to Helm. Right down the heart of the plate, chopped at third base. Cannon will fire that one to the first baseman of Ortner and hold the runner at second in the process. That's 1 out for Drew Nash in this top half of the 6th inning. After the short chopper to Cannon, that will bring up the second baseman, number 3. I just realized I have 2 second basemen on my roster for the Cougars. That brings up number 3, Kyle Graves. For the Cougars, he's got the supposedly other second baseman on second base, Ernesto Lopez. A chance to bring him in. 1 ball, 0 strikes, a pickoff move to the shortstop, covering second base, guarding one of the 2 second base runners for the Cougars, supposedly. The 1-0 pitch. Wines delivers a slider low and out. That caught the plate. A beautiful pitch. A batter's never going to swing at that when they have no strikes to their name. That evens out the count for Drew Nash. He's got 1 out. Runner on second. The slider low and in. That inside part of the corner. He seemed to favor it, and that one's cut back. 1-2 is the count for Nash. The strikeout pitch. Fought away down the left field line, just foul, and thankfully that would have caused some serious damage for the Greyhounds. And Drew Nash, that fastball, he sat back on it. Kyle Graves was able to fire it down the left field line, and it sliced just enough to stay foul. Still a 1-2 count here in the top half of the 6th. Kyle Graves taking a deep breath, figuring out his swing path, as that is very important here in this situation. A runner on second. The put away pitch, a slider, low and in again, fought off, and that's going to get down to left fielder. He's going to bobble it, and that's going to bring in the third run of the Barton Cougars this game. And a slider, a well-placed one, but one that Kyle Graves has seen time and time again. That at-bat alone was fought over the shortstop of Kay Gavina, and that turf, once it bounced, launched almost over the left fielder's head, so no throw down to try to get out the runner at home. That's an RBI single for Kyle Graves. Wow, what a play by Rowan Christensen. A slider skipped up in the dirt, and Kyle Graves took a step towards second thinking it skipped past him. It did not. Rowan fired one to Cale Wartner to back pick the runner at first, Kyle Graves, and clear the bases with bases here with 2 outs. The 1-0 pitch fouled back behind the net. That'll even up the count here for Drew Nash facing off against Layden. I guess Layden Oviatt. I've accepted that I just don't understand how to say his name, so I apologize. Two outs now for the Greyhounds. The 1-0, the 1-1 pitch fired past Oviatt. And that'll put it in a pitcher's count here. 1-2. Bases empty, 2 outs. 3-4 is your score here in the top half of this 6th inning. Here comes the put away pitch. Nash fires it high and in, right at the chin of Oviatt, but he's able to duck away from it. Pushing Oviatt off the plate. You have to imagine that's setting up the slider on the outer half. The 2-2 pitch, 2 outs. He goes for it. It's pulled to the third baseman, but just foul. After 6 innings now, when you have a pitcher on the bump that throws 2 pitches, a fastball, slider, not to discredit him at all, they are both very effective. You have to imagine, like I just did, it is pretty easy to understand in which counts and which situations you know what pitch is going to come. The 2-2 pitch, he doubles down on that slider low and away, and that's going to fall just short of the left fielder. That's a 2-out single for Layden Oviatt. And that'll bring up the DH, number 33, Micah McGavran. Last time up, McGavran had an RBI single in that 4th inning that helped stretch what was the 2-0 lead for the Cougars. Since then, it is now a 3-4 deficit. And first pitch, he'll get jammed. That'll go right to the second baseman of Max Erdley. And Drew Nash escapes through 6 innings, 3 runs allowed, and on pace for a win. The Fort Scott Greyhounds moving into the bottom half of this 6th inning. You're watching Fort Scott Sports Live. Stay tuned.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, preparing for a career in healthcare as part of Fort Scott Community College's nursing program. Or maybe you belong on stage as part of the Hounds band or theater department. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Today we're going to do an experiment to see just how fast Crawlcan's multi-gig internet is. In your email, you'll find 2 links. When I say go, click on the first link to download the 500 gigabyte test file. Go! Okay, now when I say go, click on the second link in your email to upload the file. Go! I guess it really does eclipse all other internet.
Release the Crawcan. Monstrous multi-gig speeds for a low, no-nonsense price.
Welcome back to Fort Scott Sports Live. Hayden Oliver, the leadoff batter, the lefty facing Antonio Mendez. He will take the first pitch for a ball. That slider fell just below the zone. Oh, and a sword for Hayden Oliver that time around. He doubled up on that back foot slider. He thought he was getting the fastball low and in that he's seen before this game. And he's driven it down the right field line a couple times. That time it just wasn't the case. 1-2 is the count here for the center fielder, Hayden Oliver. Last time around he had a single and he's found his way to the home plate. That 2-strike hit will go down to the shortstop up the middle, but the speed of Hayden Oliver blazing past the bag. He'll get an infield single. And a great play by the shortstop, J.J. Spafford, to glove that one and not allow it to go to the outfield, but too rough of a landing to get back up and fire enough power to that first base side and retire Hayden Oliver, because that speed of Oliver, I have to imagine now, will pose a serious threat to Antonio Mendez here on the bump. A doinker right between the catcher and the first baseman. The catcher's going to drag the first baseman off the bag, and again, 2 batters, 2 singles for the Greyhounds to start at the bottom of this 6th inning. Already reminiscent of the bottom of the 4th inning when we had 3 straight runners created off of infield singles or hit by pitches. Antonio Mendez surely breaking a couple extra sweat beats now. Runners on first and second, no outs for Cale Ortner. He's showing bunt, he pulls it back. And that'll be a strike 1. Ortner didn't like that one. The corner infielders crashing in. Horgenson wanted to back pit the runner at first, but the second baseman wasn't there in time to cover. Thankfully for the Greyhounds. The runner on first is Rowan Christensen. The runner at second is Hayden Oliver. A lot of speed there at second base. Ortner now down in the count, 0-1. A humongous wasp in front of me. That one's going to go off the head of Ortner. Oh, no. He gets back up on his own power. The coach and the umpire both telling you, take your time. As he was showing bunt, the fastball came high and tight, and he was able to turn his head around, thankfully. So the helmet absorbed all of the damage. The trainer got out there in a jiffy as well. He's showing her where he got hit, and it was right at the crown of the head, and going through all the, I'm not sure what you call this, but the field sobriety test, I guess. And I think he's passing. I think he's doing it. Yep, he's going to start walking the first base on his own will. The applause from the crowd. And just like that, 3 runners created through 3 batters. The Greyhounds not having to do much of the dirty work, as Antonio Mendez is guiding him through the process. Bases juiced and 0 outs. Yet again, eerily reminiscent of that 4th inning. But Ortner still talking over with coach and the trainer, seeing if he's still good to go. I think Ortner really trying to plead his case that he's good to say in this one, coach. Another round of applause for Ortner, as Mendez has allowed 5 hits He hasn't collected a single strikeout, and he's given up 6 walks in his outing, and I think this might be the end of it through 5 innings. Yes, he's passing off that ball to coach. So I'll say it again, through 5 innings, Antonio Mendez allowed 5 hits, didn't collect a single strikeout. He passed away 6 walks, and he allowed 4 runs, and he left the bases juiced for whichever pitcher that has to inherit those coming out. On the other half of this break, you're watching Fort Scott Sports Live. Sit tight.
From the football field to the bean field, the right equipment can make all the difference. Gear up for harvest, expand your fleet, or grow your business with Tyler Jackman at Big Iron Auctions. Tyler can improve your operation conveniently, efficiently, and effectively. And if you're selling one piece or the whole operation, Big Iron can connect you with over 750,000 registered bidders. Buying or selling, go big. Big Iron Auctions. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115. BigIronAuctions.com.
At the Farm and Ranch Division of the 4-State Agency, we're a team of experts who genuinely care about you and your farming operation. That's why whether it's a visit to your farm or a friendly chat at our office, we're committed to delivering the service you deserve. Our team is fully licensed in both crop insurance and LRP, allowing us to cover your entire farming operation across Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Contact us today to see how we can help.
Prescription drug pricing points to corporate
Freedom of the press is about your right to know.
and Clark sheer athleticism.
It's about your right to be informed. Today, there are real threats to press freedom
Reaching residential areas?
and your right to know about the world around us. We must protect our right to know, no matter what kind of news is important to you. Before it's too late, understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
How is it so fast?
With Crawcan's multi-gig internet, you can experience monstrous speeds for every device in your home or business at the same time for a low, no-nonsense price.
Tonight. Parker Fagan's walking out to the outfield. A cult classic of a song. Bases juiced now for the new pitcher, Ross Lawrence, the righty, such as Mendez. The first pitch, a fastball. Fired on the outside part of the plate, or just outside that part of the plate. It's a ball. And you'll notice Lawrence, not a overhand pitcher, but not a 3/4 arm slot, more of that 7/8, if that even makes sense. He keeps that ball out there throughout the whole release. That one's ripped down the first base line. That is foul. Parker Fagans, that could have done some serious damage to that scoreboard in favor of the Greyhounds. And you see Lawrence favoring that outside part of the plate through 2 pitches. A 1-1 count for Fagans. Righty-righty matchup here. Bases juiced, 0 outs. The slider dragged Jorgensen into that left-handed batter's box to clean that one up. That is 2 balls, 1 strike for this count. Ross and Lawrence trying to find his footing early on here. The fastball low and in. 4-6-3. A ground. That's a double play, but an RBI at that for Parker Fagans. So the Fort Scott Greyhounds do score a run, but with bases juiced there, that's not the way you want to do it. Runner on third base for the leadoff batter, the shortstop, K. Gavina. A base hit will bring him in, but Ross Lawrence firing a fastball just above the shoulders of Gavina for a 1-0 count in favor of the hitter. That's chopped up to the shortstop, Gavina hustling down the line, but no problem for J.J. Spafford. That'll retire the side. 3-5 is your score through 7 innings of play. You're watching Fort Scott Sports Live on Varsity Sports Live. Stay tuned for 7th inning action on the other side of this break.
How is it so fast?
With Crawcan's multi-gig internet, you can experience monstrous speeds for every device in your home or business at the same time for a low, no-nonsense price.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, preparing for a career in healthcare as part of Fort Scott Community College's nursing program. Or maybe you belong on stage as part of the Hounds band or theater department. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Welcome back to Fort Scott Sports Live. Drew Nash looking to take the bump in the 7th inning here through 6. Nash has allowed 7 hits. He's collected 3 strikeouts. He's given up 2 walks, and he's allowed 3 runs. Still on pace to receive a win if the game were to end right now, as the Greyhounds are winning 3-5 after 6 innings of ball play here, top of the 7th. And for the playoff bracket design, it is a full 9-inning game throughout a 3-game series in this first round. So Drew Nash trying to get the Greyhounds through 7 innings here. Only allowing 3 runs is the goal, as he will face the catcher, the 8-hole hitter Dalton Horkinson. He'll pop up to shallow center fielder to shortstop. Max Erdley able to bring that one in. 1 pitch, 1 out for Drew Nash, and that's what you want out of your pitcher in this 7th inning when he's already worked quite a heavy workload early on. So 1 pitch, 1 out will always help your case and help you go longer into these ball games. Up now, the shortstop, the 9-hole hitter, number 6, J.J. Spafford, struck out his last time up, and the umpire will give that one to Nash, a slider right at the knees, low and away of Spafford. 0-1's the count. Quickly down 0-2 is J.J. Spafford. Base is empty here, 1 out, and Drew Nash still moving as quick as he was when the game first started. That slider ripped right over the third baseman's head of Zayden Cannon. The left fielder fired in there to second base. The throw down, he is out by a mile. A great job by the relay team of the left fielder, number 7, Parker Fagans, the cutoff man, the shortstop, Caden Gavina, and firing in there to Max Early to get the tag. 2 up, 2 down. I believe that has scored a 7-6-4 right there to collect the out on J.J. Spafford. Trying to stretch out a single, unsuccessful. But now the true leadoff batter, Kyle Walker, here with bases empty and 2 outs. Lined out to the first baseman last time up. That one flown to the left fielder. Shouldn't give him any troubles. It doesn't. That is hauled in. 3 up, 3 down in the 7th inning for Drew Nash. Exactly what the Greyhounds needed for a chance to go capitalize and tack onto this lead. You are watching Fort Scott Greyhounds here on Fort Scott Sports Live going into that 7th inning stretch. Stay tuned.
Today we're going to do do an experiment to see just how fast Crawlcan's multi-gig internet is. In your email, you'll find 2 links. When I say go, click on the first link to download the 500 gigabyte test file. Go! Okay, now when I say go, click on the second link in your email to upload the file. Go! I guess it really does eclipse all other internet.
Release the Crawcan. Monstrous multi-gig speeds for a low, no-nonsense price.
From the football field to the bean field, the right equipment can make all the difference. Gear up for harvest, expand your fleet, or grow your business with Tyler Jackman at Big Iron Auctions. Tyler can improve your operation conveniently, efficiently, and effectively. And if you're selling one piece or the whole operation, Big Iron can connect you with over 750,000 registered bidders. Buying or selling, go big. Big Iron Auctions. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115. BigIronAuctions.com.
Welcome back to Fort Scott Sports Live here on the latter half of that 7th inning stretch. We saw Drew Nash retire 3 batters in quick succession. So now the Greyhounds have a chance to capitalize on a scoreless inning defensively and tack on to this 2-run lead. Now facing Ross Lawrence is number 2, the second baseman, Max Erdley. And he'll take his first pitch for a ball, starting off ahead in the count. The 1-0 pitch, a fastball fired in right at the knees. Erdley spit on that one. Lawrence now checking the wristband, giving the approval to the catcher. He likes the pitch. 1-1. Out of the stretch, he winds, delivers. An off speed, the changeup low and in, but did not catch the zone. Erdley now at a 2-1 count, favoring him. The fastball right down the middle. Erdley smacks it over the head of the center fielder. That's a ground rule double to lead things off on the bottom half of this 7th inning. The Greyhounds have a chance to tack on that 2-run lead with a very timely double coming from Max Erdley. That'll bring up number 14, Alex Downing, the 3-hole hitter. He hit a home, I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong one. He grounded out to the second baseman last time up, and time before that, a double play. So over 3 on the day. Alex Downing more than due to bring in the runner from second. That one cut back hastily. So Ross Lawrence allowing his first hit in today's contest. Getting up early against Downing. 0-1 is the count. Runner on second base. No, change up. Breaking on that arm side, of course, of Lawrence. So away from the lefty of Alex Downing. That one fell just out of the zone. So 1-1 will be the count for Downing. Runner on second. No outs. The fastball that time fought away just past the shortstop. They're holding a runner at third. That should be runners at the corners. The back pick not successful at first. And just like that, Downing was due and he delivered. Runners at the corners, 0 outs. And the hot bat of the cleanup hitter, the third baseman, Zayden Cannon, coming off a home run his last time up. A solo shot that extended the lead from 4 to 5 in that 6th inning. The first pitch in the at-bat is slider outside the zone. Cannon will get ahead in the count, 1-0. And like I mentioned last time up, he's got the power. He showed that time. But last thing you want to do with a runner in scoring position and 0 outs is get him in a hitter's count. So Ross Lawrence takes my advice. He works himself back into it, 1-1. A fastball on the outside part of the plate, working off that slider. Allergies in full effect right now. The 1-1 count. A fastball again to the first baseman. 3-6-1, and he got it. What a double play from the first baseman, shortstop, and pitcher. Still an RBI ground. I keep trying to say ground rule double. An RBI double play for the Greyhounds, but the Cougars doing a great job to prevent these runs from pounding up each inning. That'll clear the bases. One of those runners going towards the scoreboard, but the other two going back to the dugout empty-handed. That'll bring up the DH, Ethan Hampton. He'll take a slider low and away to start the at-bat. The 0-1 pitch now. The fastball low and out. Cut through it. He will start the count 0-2. Ethan Hampton down early. But like Zayden Cannon with the bases empty, he's got that power. Ross Lawrence understanding that, working low and away from him, not allowing him to really elevate the baseball. The cut straight back, that 0-2 pitch. Hampton, he could have got a hold of that one. Lawrence, I believe, accidentally elevating the zone there as Jorgensen was set way outside. Hampton unlucky that time around. 0-2 is still the count. 2 outs, bases still empty. A 3-run lead for the Greyhounds. That one cut back again. That fastball still being elevated in the zone. Back-to-back pitches where Lawrence has been lucky that Hampton has not been able to line it or line that one out. 0-2 still the count. 2 outs. Jorgensen set low. The slider exactly where he wanted it, but outside, says the umpire. One-two's your count. Hampton trying to work back into it. Ross Lawrence hasn't gone to that changeup yet. Jorgensen still set up at the waist belt. And that's a slider right to the glove, but ripped down the left field line. Another ground rule double for Ethan Hampton. He'll just stroll his way in there, touch the bag, and he's a DH, so he knows he's a pitch runner. Or actually, excuse me, no, he just had to drop off his equipment. But Hampton, a great job there. Like I said, Jorgensen set up low, but it was also middle, so I'm not sure why you would set up a guy like Hampton, a slider that's going to be in the middle part of the section of the plate. And he drove it down the left field line, a ground rule double, and a 2-out hit. A chance for Hayden Oliver to bring him in. Chopped to the shortstop on the first pitch and rifled. So that'll retire the side, and Hayden Oliver, first pitch, ground out. Ethan Hamptons will stay stranded on second base. Moving into the top of the 8th inning, the Greyhounds take a 3-run lead. 6-3 is your score. Through 7, you're watching Fort Scott Sports Live. Stay tuned for 8th inning action.
At the Farm and Ranch Division of the Four-State Agency, we're a team of experts who genuinely care about you and your farming operation. That's why whether it's a visit to your farm or a friendly chat at our office, we're committed to delivering the service you deserve. Our team is fully licensed in both crop insurance and LRP, allowing us to cover your entire farming operation across Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Contact us today to see how we can help.
Prescription drug pricing points to corporate
Freedom of the press is about your right to know.
and Clark sheer athleticism.
It's about your right to be informed. Today, there are real threats to press freedom
Reaching residential areas?
and your right to know about the world around us. We must protect our right to know, no matter what kind of news is important to you. Before it's too late, understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
Welcome back to Fort Scott Sports Live. Excuse the silence, the allergies, like I've mentioned multiple times, in full effect right now. Drew Nash, the first pitch of the top of the 8th, still on the bump. You saw a drag bunt attempt from Rhett Winchester, trying to get things started for the Cougars here. With just 2 innings left of batting, they're down by 3 runs. They got to find a way to generate runners. And Winchester trying to take matters into his own hands and trying to do a quick little drag bunt, that time unsuccessful. 0-1 is the count for the starting pitcher, Drew Nash. And that's a slider that time, fought away right to the right fielder. That's going to short hop right in front of him. That's a leadoff single for Rhett Winchester. And the manager taking a trip to the mound. They're going to call in the bullpen there. He made the signal. And Drew Nash, through 7 quality innings, had a chance to go into the 8th. And right there, right away, allowed a leadoff single. So, excuse me, the manager has seen enough. After about 7 pats on the butt there, reassuring he did a great job. The reliever will come in, and we will see more action on the other side of this break. I'm going to go blow my nose. We're going to let the reliever warm up. Number 25, Hunter Doyle, hoping to get a nice hold on this after the quality start of Drew Nash. You're watching Fort Scott Sports Live.
How is it so fast?
With Crawcan's multi-gig internet, you can experience monstrous speeds for every device in your home or business at the same time for a low, no-nonsense price.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, preparing for a career in healthcare as part of Fort Scott Community College's nursing program. Or maybe you belong on stage as part of the Hounds band or theater department. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Today we're going to do an experiment to see just how fast Crawcan's multi-gig internet is. In your email, you'll find 2 links. When I say go, click on the first link to download the 500 gigabyte test file. Go! Okay, now when I say go, click on the second link in your email to upload the file. Go! I guess it really does eclipse all other internet.
Release the Crawcan. Monstrous multi-gig speeds for a low, no-nonsense price.
From the football field to the bean field, the right equipment can make all the difference. Gear up for harvest, expand your fleet, or grow your business with Tyler Jackman at Big Iron Auctions. Tyler can improve your operation conveniently, efficiently, and effectively. And if you're selling one piece or the whole operation, Big Iron can connect you with over 750,000 registered bidders. Buying or selling, go big. Big Iron Auctions. Call Tyler Jackman at 60.
Welcome back to Fort Scott Sports Live. We are here in the top half of the 8th inning. Hunter Doyle, the new pitcher on the bump. He's got himself ahead in this count. 0-1 to the one of these 2 second basemen I have on this roster, Ernesto Lopez. Runner on first base is Christensen. He faked the steal, and that slider will be low and away from Lopez at the 1-1 count. He finds himself in. Like I mentioned, Winchester, the runner on first. A slider by Doyle. Doubled down on it. That time it was in the zone, and Lopez swung on top of it. That's a swing and a miss. And a 1-2 count in favor of Hunter Doyle. And the pick-off attempt unsuccessful. Doyle understanding the speed that the center fielder has at first base right now, trying to keep him in check And in the strikeout count, he tries to pick him off again, and again unsuccessful. The 1-2 pitch locks eyes with the batter. He fires, jammed him, but cut back by Lopez. And that fastball got in there quick. He hasn't seen a pitch in a couple of seconds. He saw a couple of sliders and then a delay between pitches, the consecutive pickoff attempts. That fastball had to look a little extra quick that time around for Lopez. The runner goes, the fastball fired in, grounded to the shortstop, fired across the diamond, got him out by a millisecond as Lopez was flying down that line, but one up, one down for Hunter Lopez, but that inherited runner does move his way to second base. That will bring up the right fielder, Carter Helm, the cleanup hitter. Here comes the first pitch, a slider. He checked it. And I thought he went. The umpire said no. The catcher checked the second base umpire, and he said safe. So that is a first pitch ball. And there's that wind again. I am so sorry. The second pitch fired in there right down the middle for a strike, and no swing from Carter Helm. Spits on it. And with the new pitcher on the bump, that's not surprising with 0 strikes. You're just trying to get a feel for that tempo and that speed. 1-1 count, 1 out, runner on second base. He fires the fastball inside. Just missed, and Hunter Doyle, that off speed, it looks pretty slow, and then he fires that fastball in there. It looks pretty quick. So, pretty vast jumps in speeds between pitches here. That slider that time looking pretty slow again, tails pretty well off that fastball and pulled really early and foul. So the purpose of that pitch was successful to mess up the timing of the hitter, and 2-2 is the count now. Doyle stares off in the distance, focuses up on his pitch grip, gets comfortable, delivers, runner goes, slider off the plate, no throw down. So the runner advances to third base successfully. The catcher didn't feel confident with the third baseman covering him. Batter might have been in the way, and now the slider was off the plate, so now it's a full count, 1 out, runner on third for Doyle. He fires, cut straight back. That fastball was middle but out, and that could have been a great hit for Helm if he would have caught his barrel on the ball there. That would have been dangerous for Doyle and the Greyhounds. The payoff pitch, the fastball inside, lined out to the center fielder. He's got a run on it. He fires it in. You're not going to see a throw down here from Gavina as Winchester, the center fielder for the Cougars, gets there with plenty of time. That shrinks the lead for the Greyhounds, only 4-6 now, as Drew Nash will get that run, as that is an inherited runner. Hunter Doyle now asking for a new ball. He's got bases empty here with 2 outs. Facing the number 3, Kyle Graves, and supposedly, according to my obviously wrong roster, the other second baseman sharing the position with Ernesto Lopez. He's grounded out to the second. No. He's grounded up to third base the last 2 at-bats. And I'm reading the wrong guy again. He had an RBI single last time up. He is 1-2 on the day with a strikeout and a walk as well, as Hunter Doyle finds himself in a 1-1 count. 2 outs, bases empty. That one dribbled, just foul the third base line. Graves flying down that first base line, trying to run out what would have been a little tapper infield single. finds himself in a 1-2 count now. And he could make for the last batter of this top of the 8th inning. And if that is the case, the Cougars will only have 3 outs to score at least 2 runs. No telling what the Greyhounds will do in the bottom half of this 8th inning. The 1-2 pitch again fouled away that third base side. Graves staying alive. Still has that lefty Jeff Bagwell short of bat waggle along with the hips. And Hunter Doyle fires that fastball past him. That retires the side for the Greyhounds going into the bottom of the 8th inning. He struts off, he knows it. That was an impressive strikeout to say the least. You're watching Fort Scott Sports Live here. Stay tuned for the bottom of the 8th inning coverage. The Greyhounds could be the last inning of batting here before the game is over, so you don't want to miss it. You're watching Fort Scott Sports Live.
From the football field to the bean field, the right equipment can make all the difference. Gear up for harvest, expand your fleet, or grow your business with Tyler Jackman at Big Iron Auctions. Tyler can improve your operation conveniently, efficiently, and effectively. And if you're selling one piece or the whole operation, Big Iron can connect you with over 750,000 registered bidders. Buying or selling, go big. Big Iron Auctions. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115. BigIronAuctions.com.
At the Farm and Ranch Division of the Four-State Agency, we're a team of experts who genuinely care about you and your farming operation. That's why whether it's a visit to your farm or a friendly chat at our office, we're committed to delivering the service you deserve. Our team is fully licensed in both crop insurance and LRP, allowing us to cover your entire farming operation across Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Contact us today to see how we can help.
Welcome back to Fort Scott Sports Live. Yet again, that music playlist really just tacking on to the excellent baseball atmosphere this afternoon. Joker and the Thief by Wolfmother, another classic and another one that belongs on the baseball field as Rowan Christensen, speaking of, steps into that right-hand batter's box, still facing Ross Lawrence, and he'll find a fastball way outside, and that'll be a ball in favor of Christensen. The Greyhounds last inning were able to steal another run as we saw bases juiced and Lawrence able to get out of the jam with the ground with a double play, but that double play did consist of an RBI. Shortly after that, we saw a quick out, and Ross Lawrence escaped the jam, but not unscathed, as Rowan Christensen is in a 1-1 count with bases empty, no outs. He'll cut that one foul. Now down in the count. So far this game, Rowan Christensen has had a walk, or 2 walks. One was hit by pitch, and the other one he reached on a reached first base on a throwing error from Horgenson. So 0 for 1 of the day. Looking to put a number on the left side of that ratio as he takes a pitch low and away again. 2-2 is the count, working his way back into it. The pitch comes in. Oh, man. Excuse the stumble there, but a slider on the outside part of the plate. I was trying to describe it, and then I thought Christensen hit a liner down the third base line, but it was pulled way foul. But Lawrence, an off-speed in the outside part of the plate. Got barreled the second time around. The 2-2 pitch, a fastball right over the arm of Lawrence, and that'll be a leadoff knock for Rowan Christensen. A great way to get things started here for the Greyhounds, the bottom of this 8th inning. Like I said before the break, this could be their last inning of batting, as they do have a 2-run lead as of right now going into the 9th, and on pace to tally onto it, as that is Cale Ortner. Last time up, got a beanball right in the head trying to show bunt. And this time around, facing a new pitcher, showing bunt again, pulls it back, trying to move Christensen into scoring position. But Ortner today has a pop up to the first baseman, a sacrifice RBI, and a hit by pitch. So 1 for 2 in the day, excuse me. Now base is empty, not showing bunt that time around. That one's going to end up low as well. 2-0 is the count for Ross Lawrence. As Cale Ortner's battling in this one. Christensen taking the short lead at first base. Lawrence winds up out of the stretch, delivers the fastball, and blew it past Cale Ortner. Not all that quick, but just enough. Cale still in a hitter's count here, 2-1. 0 outs, runner on first. The exact same pitch fooled Ortner again as he swings through it again. 2-2 is your count. Ortner in the beautiful baby blue jersey, white pants. He's got some baby blue wrist tape on that left wrist. Takes his space in the box. 2-2 pitch, fired low and away. Almost skipped off the turf. Lawrence has thrown a couple of those this at bat alone. That low and away pitch, you see where he's trying to locate it. And if you're Ortner, take a mental note there. But full count now. Runner on first. 0 outs. Lawrence delivers. And he caught the outside corner. Ortner goes down looking. That is not the answer. The Greyhounds needed that at bat. He started up ahead 2-0. Lawrence works his way back into it and strikes him out looking. A great job by Ross Lawrence, and the discipline and the resilience he's had since he's came in here inheriting a bases loaded jam. He's done quite the great job for the Cougars so far. And that'll be his first strikeout of today's outing. But up now is Parker Fagans, a tapper back to Lawrence. Basically a bunt moving over Christensen to second base with 2 outs. The Greyhounds have a chance here. One last out in the bottom of this 8th inning, and their leadoff batter, Cade Gavina, a guy who's 0 for 3 on today's game. A leadoff guy that's pretty surprising and out of the ordinary. So another guy who is due to do some damage here at a very timely time in the game today, as he takes the first pitch outside for a ball. I'm wrong. On the outside part of the plate for a strike. Gavina, a single could score. Christensen here finds the gap. The runner is on second base, so that is scoring position. The 0-1 pitch, 2 outs. He fires the exact same spot, and Gavina, not a fan, dropping the head and the shoulders right away, looking at the umpire, almost asking, "Are you serious?" But he held back. Down 0-2 early. 2 outs, runner on second base. Gavina, he's due. Lawrence taking his time. He finally delivers. Slider caught all the zone. Smack to the right fielder. They're sending Christensen around. The throw's going to get cut off, but way offline, and Gavina will take second base. Christensen and Gavina will trade spots. A huge piece of 2-out hitting from Cade Gavina. The leadoff batter was due. He's grounded out to the shortstop 3 times today alone, his own position. And when it matters most, the bottom of this 8th inning, an extra piece of insurance for the pitchers of the Greyhounds. Cade Gavina standing tall at second base. Batting now is the second baseman, number 2, Max Early, but we have a mound visit. They're not, I was going to say they're not going to pull the pitcher, but they are going to pull the pitcher. Number 15, the lefty, coming in. And I just realized I'm also, number 22, his name is not Ross Lawrence. That's I'm sure as you Fort Scott fans know, that is your guys' number 22, Ross Lawrence, who is not a part of today's game. Number 22 for the Cougars, John Smith, we'll call him, had a outing of 2 runs allowed and 5 hits with 1 strikeout. So through how many innings we played? 2 innings. He's pitched 2 innings. Through 2 innings of baseball, allowed 5 hits, only collected 1 strikeout. Didn't pass out any walks, so a good change of pace from Antonio Mendez, a starter who had 6, but still allowed 2 runs. Now the side-armed lefty, number 15, John Smith Jr., we'll call him for now, as I don't have a roster at my disposal, will inherit a runner at second base with 2 outs. And he's facing Max Early, a guy who is 2 for 4 on the day, a single and a double. He scored a run his last time up. And we're going to take a quick break here on Fort Scott Sports Live. Stay tuned for the end of your 8th inning action here going into the 9th. This is the first round of regional playoffs here in District 6, so you don't want to miss it. Oh, and we're back. The batter is coming up to bat, Max Early. Number 15 only needed a handful of pitches to get ready, as I imagine he, of course, was in the bullpen, so he was already warm. A false alarm on the break there. 2 outs in the bottom of this 8th inning. Kate Gavinas taking a lead at second base now. Number 15, the sidearm lefty. Do that one from the 3/4 slot instead of the sidearm slot, which was what he was doing the whole time he was warming up. So interesting right there. But that's a fastball fired in, low and away for a strike. 0-1 is the count for Max Early. The 0-1 pitch, a changeup, tunneling perfectly with that fastball. That gets Early swinging and missing, all that weight going to the front foot as he was way ahead of it. 0-2 is the count early on for Early. Max Early, number 2, has 2 strikes with 2 outs in this 8th inning. Runner on second base. He'll take the changeup low and away. It hit the dirt. That moves it to a 1-2 count. And a chance for Early to get some timely hitting here. A 2-out RBI would pay dividends for the Greyhounds in this first game. One, 2 count. Here comes the pitch. Just outside. And Early will stay alive. 2-2-2 on the scoreboard. Number 2 is batting with a runner on the bag that has a number 2 in front of it. The Stars have a line for Max Early. Will he deliver? Here comes the pitch. It's popped up and cut back. That's a foul ball out of play. The 2s are still in effect for number 2. The Greyhounds up 4-7 in this 8th inning. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Fastball fought away, driven deep down right field line, but gonna be way foul. So not much lines involved there. The 2-2 pitch yet again. Number 15, the lefty on the bump. He fires. That one's fought off to the second baseman. Either Ernesto Lopez or Kyle Graves, but either way, the Greyhounds get retired going into the top of the 9th inning. And you see number 25, Hunter Doyle, walking back onto the mound, trying to close this thing off and get his save. The Greyhounds have a 4-7 lead going into the 9th. Excuse me. You're watching Fort Scott Sports Live. Stay tuned.
Prescription drug pricing points to corporate
Freedom of the press is about your right to know.
and Clark sheer athleticism.
It's about your right to be informed. Today, there are real threats to press freedom.
Reaching residential areas?
And your right to know about the world around us. We must protect our right to know, no matter what kind of news is important to you. Before it's too late, understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
How is it so fast?
With Crawcan's multi-gig internet, you can experience monstrous speeds for every device in your home or business at the same time for a low, no-nonsense price.
Welcome back to Fort Scott Sports Live here at the top of the 9th inning. Hunter Doyle has 3 runs, or I guess 2 runs of insurance here to work with as the Greyhounds possess a 4-7 lead over the Barton County Community College Cougars in this first of 3 game series affair in the first round of the District 6 Plains District Regional Playoffs. Doyle starts down 0-1, or 1-0 in the count. Moves his way back up to 1-1 in the count. He is pitching against number 14, the 6-hole hitter, the left fielder, Hayden Aviat. And Aviat has had himself a pretty successful afternoon. He's found his way on the last 2 at-bats. Looking to do so again here for the Cougars, and a last inning momentum swing is what they're hopeful for, but Hunter Doyle finding himself in a 1-2 count now. Bases empty, 0 outs. Not a lot of ball left for the Cougars. They took the lead early on in that 4th inning, 2-0, and right there in the bottom half of that 4th inning, the Greyhounds took the lead right there. Hunter Doyle will strike out the first batter with a nasty slider on that low and away corner. That's 1 up, 1 down, and victory becomes that much more near for the Greyhounds in this first game of the series. It's back-to-back strikeouts for Hunter Doyle as he struck out number 3, Kyle Graves, last time around in the 8th inning, but now it is Micah McGavern, the DH. He'll take a ball and he'll stand tall in that zone and spit on it. Letting Doyle know he's here to play. They're not going to give up. 3 runs to score here, just 2 outs remaining. Here comes the 0-1 pitch, fired past him. McGavern never had a chance for that one. The Cougars still trying to do everything they can in that dugout to stay alive. The rally caps are on. The sunglasses are upside down. Doyle takes a stretch, delivers, low and in at the shins of McGavern. That's a ball. 2-1 is the count. 1 out. Bases empty. Doyle not a super tall stature, but man, that fastball does get on the hitters quick, and that slider to parry off with it right there is pretty effective, but that time around just below the zone. McGavern sees himself in a hitter's count here. A chance to start a rally. 3-1 is the count. Doyle staring off to the turf. He fires the fastball, cut back. Doyle working his way back into it, a full count. Gets a signal, accepts it. Winds up, delivers the punch-out pitch. Dropped just under the zone. A fastball tried to paint the low and out corner. The umpire wasn't having it. McGavern gives us, or not us, the Cougars. Boo. They get the leadoff runner with 1 out here. McGavern will get pinch ran for number 21. And I don't have a roster displayed for me, so I can't tell you who that is. That could be John Smith III. standing on first base with one out. And that brings up the catcher, Dalton Horgenson, unsuccessful on the day with the bat 0 for 3. You could argue he's due, as Doyle delivers the 0-0 pitch, and that's a ball on the inside part of the plate, and he can't believe it. Just after passing away his first walk of today's outing, he's looking to get back into that strikeout column. The umpire will give him that one. That caught the corner, low and out. 1-1's the count, 1 out for Horgenson, runner on first. The slider, 4-6-3. That's your ball game. The Greyhounds will take game 1 of today's series. Hunter Doyle, a great job to contain the save. And that is your first game of 3. The Greyhounds a chance to win it tomorrow. Like I mentioned in today's pregame show, that could get moved up to 11 a.m. That is not yet confirmed, but weather permitting, of course. There's supposed to be weather in the area around 2 p.m. The Greyhounds make sure to catch the game here at the stadium tomorrow. Lions Field, a beautiful one. That moss in the left field wall, the music, the stands, the fans. A great scene for baseball, and the Greyhounds take full possession of that game today. You're watching Fort Scott Sports Live. We're going to move into this post-game show on the other half of this break. Stay tuned.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, preparing for a career in healthcare as part of Fort Scott Community College's nursing program. Or maybe you belong on stage as part of the Hounds band or theater department. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Today we're going to do an experiment to see just how fast CrawlCan's multi-gig internet is. In your email, you'll find 2 links. When I say go, click on the first link to download the 500 gigabyte test file. Go! Okay, now when I say go, click on the second link in your email to upload the file. Go! I guess it really does eclipse all other internet.
Release the CrawlCan. Monstrous multi-gig speeds for a low, no-nonsense price.
Excuse the black screen. I was looking for a final scene. I don't have one. But you're watching Fort Scott Sports Live. We just saw the end of the first game of this 3-game series here at Lions Field in the first round of this Region 6 playoff bout between the Greyhounds and the Barton Community College Cougars. The Greyhounds came out on top 7-4 in today's affair. They had 5 straight innings from 4th to 8th, batting wise, where they scored a run. The 4th inning, they took the lead after going down 0-2 in the top half. Took the lead 3-2, and from then on, they never looked back. They scored a run each of those last 4 innings, making it 7-4. Drew Nash will get your win in today's outing after pitching 7 innings of baseball, 3 strikeouts, 7 hits, 2 walks, allowing 4 runs. One being inherited, or one being earned after he left the bump as Hunter Doyle let one in, but it was the run that Nash had left out there, so he will inherit that. Hunter Doyle, I don't have his stats quite tallied up, but I believe he did not. Yep, he had 2 strikeouts, 1 walk, and I believe 1 hit, and he allowed 0 runs. He came in the 8th inning, got the hold, came in the 9th inning, got the save. A great outing from the 2 pitchers today, and a great piece of batting from the Greyhounds. Nobody really stood out because everybody played their part, but there was one solo shot going to Zayden Cannon, a 2-out hit in the bottom of the 5th inning that eventually led to the departure of Antonio Mendez moments later. So there's your highlight of today's game. But besides that, the Greyhounds will be back in action tomorrow early afternoon, or what could be tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. I don't know yet. You got to stay tuned on the social medias. And be sure to come out here and support your Greyhounds, as this is playoff baseball and the atmosphere here is awesome. You don't want to miss it. But for myself, I'm Michael Kissel. You are watching Fort Scott Sports Live. I will see you guys tomorrow.
From the gridiron to the hardcourt, the pitch to the mat, don't miss any of the action. We're there with live, local